you guys, I thought I would share with you guys a deep secret of mine, and it is the fact that I am obsessed with cookies, and especially chocolate chip cookies. I have been cooking these for as long as I can remember, but I found this actual recipe like 3 or 4 years ago, and it is like the most amazing chocolate chip recipe you will ever find. So I wanted to share it with you guys. It's like my secret recipe. Everybody that I send it to says it's just like foolproof. Like no matter what you do, if you follow this recipe, you will have incredible, delicious chocolate chip cookies. So I have my KitchenAid mixer right here with me, and Will might come help me. But I have my oven preheating right now at 350, and I'm trying to hurry because I'm going to a friend's house pretty soon here. So the first thing that I'm going to do is take my butter. I always get unsalted butter, and this recipe is actually the one that I have found is like double this, so it makes a ton if you double it, but I always half it. So that's why I kind of, I will have the recipe down below so if you guys want it. But that's why some of the amounts are kind of off, because I half everything. So it's a lot of butter, but we are going to need 2 sticks of butter, and I'm going to pop it in my microwave here just to soften it, so it makes it a lot easier to mix. Okay, so I unwrapped my butter and I'm going to put it in my microwave, and everybody's microwave has different temperatures, but I'm gonna do it for about 30 seconds and then check on it and then do it for another 30 seconds. And you don't want it like liquidy completely, but you want it definitely softened. Okay, so Willie is here. Say hi, Willie. Are you gonna help me? Hi. Okay, so he's gonna help me put it here into my KitchenAid. And it sounds like my butter is done. So basically you are going to need 1 cup of brown sugar and 3/4 cup of white sugar. So Willie's gonna help me measure that out.
I want help.
Okay, here, I'll show you. And I have these glass jars that have like flour and sugar in them, and they are amazing. So, okay, I'll tell you when. I'll fill it up. Okay, can you put that in the bowl, please? I also really love baking things with my kids because it teaches them vocabulary and just like motor skills and just how to cook. And I love cooking, so I love sharing that with my kids. So Willie's putting, oops, okay, and then 1 more huge scoop. Okay, oops, watch out. Good job, bud. Okay, so this is the consistency of the butter. Like it's, see how it's like liquidy but not completely. Can you pour this into this big bowl, please? Okay, I bet that sounded really yummy. I always use this spatula as well. It's like a rubber material, but I'm gonna just make sure the rest of that gets in there. And then can you help me with this sugar? We're gonna need 3/4, or we're gonna need 1 cup, that's right. 1 cup of brown sugar. And also I like this recipe because you just dump it all in this mixer, or if you don't have a mixer, just in 1 bowl. You don't have to have like 2 different bowls. You know, you usually have to do that with cookies. Not this one. Okay, can you dump the brown sugar in, please? Willie's doing that. Perfect, thanks, okay. Okay, so now we're going to use this as the mixer. I'm gonna pop that on here. Okay.
I'm mixing.
Okay, but you get to press the button. Do you wanna press the button?
Yeah.
Okay, let's make sure. So we're just gonna cream all 3 of these things together and make sure to lock it in place. Good job, Willie. And then we'll press, oh, we gotta lock it, and then we just gotta press on. That's the first one. I'm just gonna mix it, mix it, mix it. The key too with cookie making, I have found, is you don't wanna over mix stuff, because if you over mix it, then the cookie dough gets really, really like gooey, or not gooey, or just too thin. All right, the next thing we're going to do after we cream it is just add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I think I hear Max.
A little. I can have a little bit.
Not yet, Bubba. Oh, Max is awake too. And then we are also going to add 2 eggs. 1 egg. 2 eggs. Oops, a shell went in it. Okay, so we're gonna close it again and cream it again. Once again, I don't mix it too much because I don't want it to be too runny, but now we're going to be adding like the dry ingredients. Okay, so now, this is really awkward, but now that it is creamed, I'm gonna add 3 cups of flour. Let's add flour. This is the scary part because last time Willie added it and then turned on the mixer by himself and it went everywhere. And I always find that I have to add a tiny bit extra, more than 3 cups of flour, but that's kind of something I feel like I've learned just from experience of making so many cookies. You can kind of tell when the batter is too runny. 3/4 teaspoon of salt, 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda. So I know, I'm getting it for you. Let's see. Okay. Can you dump this? 1, 2, 3. Good. Don't eat that, bud.
Just a little bit.
He loves eating cookie dough, and I always tell him, no, 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 you're gonna get sick. So now, I'm gonna turn it on really softly because I don't want it to go everywhere. But once again, you don't want to overmix the batter, and you don't want it to be too sticky of a consistency. If you can't roll it in a ball, then it's too sticky. But I'm just doing it on the lowest setting here. See, and I didn't make sure that all of the flour is incorporated because I'm gonna add the chocolate chips as well. So I know that's gonna make more mixing. So yeah, this is perfect consistency. And then let me go get the chocolate chips. I personally prefer milk chocolate chips, but if you like semi-sweet or whatever, that's also fine. But I just use the entire bag. Lily, please don't eat those.
I can't have more chocolate chips.
Here's some chocolate chips. And then I'm gonna mix this again. I'm gonna mix and mix until the chocolate chips are completely incorporated into the cookie dough. And then it should look like this consistency. See how it kind of like just crumbles? That's the consistency that you want for your cookies. You want a chocolate chip? Okay. Okay, now that the cookie dough is all ready to go, this is how I prep. I know a lot of people use parchment paper when they bake cookies. I actually use aluminum foil. I feel like it's cheaper and it's easier to just cut and make the right size. But I usually have 3 huge cookie sheets. So this is the main one, the big one. And then I have a couple other small ones. And then I have this like cooling rack that I take the cookies out before they're done, and then they kind of sit on the pan for a while. I don't want to just be using 1 cookie sheet, if that makes sense, because I take the cookies out a little bit earlier than you think you're supposed to and let them cook a little bit more outside of the oven. So that's what makes a really, really soft, gooey, delicious cookie that's not overcooked. And after that cools off, then I have this that I let it cool off on, so it like maintains the shape. I know I'm really weird, but I seriously have been doing this for like 20 years. I am obsessed with baking. Okay, so these are the 12 cookies I'm gonna be putting in this first one. I'm gonna put it in the oven, and you usually cook it for 8 to 10 minutes, and I usually find it gets hotter as you cook, obviously, so just make it a minute less every time you cook it. And the first time I put as 9 minutes, but it usually goes to be about 11 minutes. But I just kind of go off of how it looks. So we're gonna put these in the oven, put the timer on for about 9 minutes. Max is really sad because he wants to eat them. What's the matter? Like, he's so sad. He sees the cookies and he's so sad. This is what he always does. So usually while these are cooking, then I put the other cookie dough on the other cookie sheets. Huh, bud? You're so upset. Can you say hi to everybody? Say, hello. Hello. He just woke up from a nap and he has fluffy hair. Ha 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 ha. Oh, ha, oh, ha. Okay, and while these cookies are baking and Max is eating his cheddar cheese and Willa's sneaking all the chocolate chips out of the cookie dough, I also wanted to share with you guys really quickly that these are the cookies that I always make for people. So I always have these ingredients in my pantry at all times, because if someone's having a bad day, if I'm having a bad day, cookies always make everything so much better. So these are really quick. You just mix them all together, like I said, in one bowl, and it just makes it so much easier. Okay, so you can see that there are 2 minutes left, so it's been baking for 8 minutes. Here is the science of baking chocolate chip cookies. Don't go off of the timer. That kind of just gives you an idea. For me, I do that just because I just don't want to forget about the cookies in the oven, but I rarely go off at the time because look how much longer they have to go. They need to get more flat. So we have to definitely go more than 2 minutes, but we will see. But don't just go off of the timer, and you want to make it a little bit less cooked than you think. You want the edges to start turning a golden brown, and then you can take it out of the oven. Huh, Max? Say hi. I also need to clean off the counters. So I will do that with my handy dandy Method grapefruit. And I clean off my KitchenAid too.
I want one.
You want a sponge? So the cookies are done. Do you see what I mean? How the edges are kind of golden brown, but the rest are kind of soft. So now I'm just gonna let it sit on my stove in the cookie sheet, or on the cookie sheet. They're kind of excited, huh guys? Yep. But we're gonna let them sit here for a couple minutes so they can cool off. And those are the delicious cookies.